Hey there, family, friends, royal priesthood. Listen, quick. I don't know if it's a story time or testimony. I'll say testimony. I went kayaking on my birthday. Okay, and we're kayaking. First, we were afraid. Like my phone fell in the water. I'm like, no, this is already not going the way. Like, Lord, is this a sign to get out of this kayak and get back on land? But I'm like, no, let me not let that ruin it. So I go ahead and me and my son and we're kayaking. Okay, and he's like, okay, so I wanted to make it to the island so bad. We did not make it. I was so disappointed in that. But that's fine. We had to turn around because we didn't have that much time. And so he's like, oh, don't worry. Like the current and stuff is working against us. So that's why it's pretty hard. But once we turn around, it'll be pushed in the back of you. And, you'll be able to go much faster. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's great. There are so many big, beautiful yachts in the water, like expensive yachts, that we did not want to hit. Okay. And we trying to turn around, guys. Trying to turn around. This wind would not let us turn around. Once we was going that way, what he said, every direction he told us to do, we took every instruction, and it wasn't seeming like it just wasn't working out. I let him see that I'm doing what he said to do. Not that I'm disobeying, but then I had to like put my own thing in there from what he taught me, and we had to like back up, reposition, try again, back up, reposition, try again. We're on water here. Water. Okay, there's manatees in the water. I'm hearing sounds. I'm trying not to hit the yacht. And so we're almost running into this other little boat, and there's a dog in the middle of the water on the boat barking. I don't do dogs. Not if it's not my dog. Like, I don't have a dog, but if it's not my personal dog, no. He's barking. It's a big dog. He looks so vicious. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, oh, Jesus, oh, Jesus. I'm calling, okay? My Lord and Savior, you better save me. I'm not dying on my birthday in the water. And then I take the kayak and push back. I'm like, I'm not trying to get on your boat, I promise. And it just seemed like so much chaos. And he's like, you have to listen. But he sees that I'm listening. And he's like, not that I'm saying that you haven't been listening. If you're telling me to listen, to me, that's like, you're not listening, so listen. I'm showing you that exactly what you're telling me to do, I'm doing it. And it's not working out. He is clearly, I'm like, can you just please go and tell somebody to come get us? Because they could have done that. They refuse to make somebody else come get us. Then you have people on their other boats cheering us on. We have, we're in the kayak. There are speedboats that we have to make sure we don't get hit. There's just too much going on. Manatees. Like, I'm like, Lord, what is this? This is not what I signed up for. But while in it, I could see a lot of revelation in it. Like, sometimes you are doing exactly what God told you to do, and you're like, Lord, I'm doing exactly what you told me to do. It's not working. I'm still going this way, and I'm trying to turn, and I'm trying to turn, and I'm trying to turn, but I'm doing exactly what you're telling me to do, and it still seems like I'm going this way. I'm still getting this result. The wind is pushing against me, Lord. Like, when I tell you, and then we have someone on the other kayak over them, like trying to get them to help us. He himself had our kayak hooked up to his, and he still couldn't do it. Like, tried everything. And at this point, I'm frustrated. Like, this was supposed to be fun. It's not fun anymore. I'm vocalizing this. I'm like, this is horrible. Horrible. Not like irate, but they could see I'm frustrated, but I'm still smiling. I'm still like laughing because it's not what I signed up for. It's just ridiculous. My son in the situation, he did not panic. Listen, we're on water. Although we have life jackets, this is deep water. We have manatees in the water. We do not want to flip over. And when I got on the kayak last time, thinking of the past, I got on last time with my sister. We flipped and it wasn't nice. And I'm like, I can't flip with my son. It's just going to be too much. I'm like, stop shaking so much. Getting a little bit like snippy at him. And he's taking it so well. I had to apologize, guys. But yeah, like, he is so calm. He's just like listening to every instruction that I'm telling him to do. And I just took so much from that. Because he could have panicked. He's a little boy. He could have panicked. He could have given up, I guess. He could have said, like, I'm doing everything, So many revelations. Okay, so we get to a certain point where we are closer to the dock. And we had, like, I don't know if he's the manager or whatever, but the instructor that was trying to help us, I don't know, filled him in on us not being able to turn. And so essentially what I was doing is just backing up and realigning myself, my nose, which is the nose of the kayak, towards the dock, going a little bit, backing up, going a little bit. And he was like, listen to me. I'm going to give you instructions. I'm like, it's not working out. He gave me instructions. He was like, well, you have to listen. And I know what I'm doing. And I know it's probably seemed like we don't, but we do. And I'm like, okay. And so now I had to relinquish, give up control. Whew. And let my son do it, because apparently, which I was not told, I asked in the beginning, do we have to position ourselves away? Is there a difference between if you sit in the front and in the back? I was told no, it doesn't matter, which is not true. The person in the back is the one that can control the kayak more. And so I should have sat in the back. And so my son was sitting behind me, so he had to kayak me. Like, you got to bring mom in. I don't know. I don't like people driving me. I don't like people, I don't know. I mean, I'm comfortable if you know how to drive, but like, if you're just learning, I'm not comfortable with that. And he's a little boy. I'm his mom. I'm thinking like, I have to do this. I brought him out here. But no, you taught him well enough. Let him do it. Trust him to do it. And so, mom, don't do anything. Only your son has to row. And then they're telling him to do it. And then he's like, okay, mom, one good left. Eventually we got there. They looked at the paddle that I was given. It was crooked, like locked in the wrong way. So my equipment was faulty. And I wasn't in position, which is in the back. And all of these things were a factor into why we weren't getting the results that the other people were getting. It's scary when God asks you to relinquish control over your life. And not that him that created your life cannot control it and lead you down the path, because he knows he can. That's why he asks you to give up control. You don't know anything about anything. And if you think you know something, that's nothing. God knows everything. He will get you back to the dock, to shore, or whatever you want to call it. And a lot of the times, just so you can know you're not alone in this, you may be doing every single thing God told you to do, and it may still look like no result. But you are getting closer and closer without even like noticing. Although, yeah, while I was doing what he said, it was turning us the other way, because the wind was just like, the enemy was just like, no, I can't let you turn. Like, if you turn and get back to Christ, like, no, it's over for me. Because you know what? Everyone that is in love with Christ knows that they don't want to do anything. Not to say that they're without sin, but they don't want to do anything that will be detrimental to that relationship with Christ. Nothing to hurt Christ, because they actually like really love him so very much. And to see someone else like blatantly sinning, you can try all you want to like be relatable and say, I know I was in that position, so I'm not being a hypocrite. But at the same time, how deep in love I am with him now, there's no way I can just purposely do this sin and feel okay about it. And if you do sin, you don't feel okay about it. And he gets you right away. And so it takes me back. My sheep know my voice. They hear me and they know my voice. They know me and I know them. And when sin is more important than your relationship or being faithful to God, then you have to question yourself and the position that you feel like you're in. You feel like you're a Christian, or whatever you want to call it. You're in a relationship with Christ and you know him. But then why cheat on him with sin on purpose? And you don't like to be cheated on and disrespected, you know? So after them seeing that, okay, my son was the one that's supposed to be rowing. It does matter the position you're in. I should have been in the back. My equipment was faulty. So me rowing was just like rowing against my own efforts, because I was going nowhere with my faulty equipment. And so the instructor, I don't know if he felt bad or whatever, he was like, oh, okay, so she was doing everything. And so he went the extra mile. He pulled us in with the kayak onto the, like, I'm not a little girl. Okay, I'll weigh some pounds. And he was relatively small, but he was able to pull me and my son on the thing. And I was like, okay, yeah. Now you're making it easier for us to get out of the kayak. Thank you for that, accommodating us that way. I promise I was listening to you, but it wasn't working out. It's like, I know. And yeah, that was my birthday experience. Pretty sure you got more and more revelations from the story. Testimony. And yeah. So just because you don't see yourself going the way you think it should go, doesn't mean that you're not doing everything that God told you to do. And sometimes you're doing everything that God told you to do, and you may not see the progress as quickly or as much as you thought. But just know that God sees you. God sees you and he knows that you are following him, and he is proud of that. Just continue to listen. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. You will get to where you need to be. You will get to your destiny, your destined place. It is the journey though, so every day learn something about yourself. Learn more about God. Don't just try to get there wherever there is. This journey is what matters. Loving the people, teaching people, helping people, correcting people, doing all that stuff for yourself, and growing. It's the journey, guys. Not so much the destination. Because then what's after that?